This is writing equations in slope-intercept form. You want to go ahead and look at some of these things that you already should know, but you need to review these. It needs to be automatic. So remember that this is an ordered pair, always starts with an x and it has a y. The slope formula is y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Remember, that's m. So remember, your slope is m. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and here's m. So that's the slope part of it. So make sure you have those memorized. When you write an equation in slope-intercept form, your answer looks like this. You need to know two things. Slope, which is not x, it's what comes in front of the x, it's the coefficient, it's m, and b. So make sure you remember this. B is the y-intercept. It's not y, it is a specific y value only when x is equal to 0. So that's your y-intercept is b. So you need to find those two things. Let's look at example number 1. I'm going to find the equation of a line using the given information. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label my points x and y. X always comes first. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my formula. And I'm going to start writing my answer because I already know the slope. Remember, there's two things you need to find. Slope and y-intercept. I already know the slope. Slope is 3, so I need to use that to find b, which is y-intercept. Okay, so all you need to do is substitute in your information. So there I have substituted in my information. I got my y, in this case, is 1, and x is 2, and my slope is 3. So now I just solve for b. So negative 5 is equal to b, so negative 5. So remember, a lot of people will circle that as their answer, but no, we're not asking to find the y-intercept. Find an equation in slope-intercept form, so it looks like this. Okay, let's look at another example. Just like always, go ahead and label your stuff. Here's x, here's y. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals 3x plus. So here I'm starting to write my answer. Here I have my formula. I need to find b. I need to find the y-intercept. So now I just have to substitute in. So 5 equals 3 times negative 2. Remember, this is multiplying. M multiplied by x. 5 equals negative 6 plus b plus 6 plus 6. And there's my answer. So you substitute in the values to find b, plug it in as your answer. Let's look at another example. Okay, this one has a little more involved in it. I don't know the slope or the y-intercept. I don't know either one. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to find my slope. So remember, first thing is find slope. Okay, and then find b, which is y-intercept. Make sure you remember that. Okay, so to find my slope, I'm going to use my slope formula. Looks like that. I'm going to label. Remember, each ordered pair has an x and a y, so x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 is 4, y1 is 1, 2 minus 3. So I just substitute it in for their values. So I get 3 over negative 1, so negative 3 is my slope. So I found the slope first, and just so we're not confused here, negative 3 is slope. Now you have a problem that's just like the ones we did. If you'll notice previously, you were given a point and a slope. Now I have a slope, and then I have 2 points. You can use either point to find your y-intercept. It doesn't matter. You can use either one. So when I do that, I'm going to choose that point. So if I choose that, I have to use the x and the y from there. So here's my slope, negative 3, x is 2 plus b. So 10 is equal to b, so my formula is y equals negative 3x plus 10. You can use either point, you get the same answer. Okay, let's look at one more. Finding the equation. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label. Now I'm going to write formulas. Write the formulas. It'll save you time because you don't have to stop and think about what you're trying to do. You just start plugging in your numbers. You can get it done quickly. First thing, find the slope. So y2 is negative 6. y1 is negative 2. Be very careful when there's a negative. It's minus and then a negative 2. So I'm going to change that before I do anything. x2 is negative 5. x1 is negative 4. Once again, be careful when it's minus a negative. So I'm going to rewrite that because that might be a little bit easier to see. This is now plus because I had minus a negative. So I have negative 4 over negative 1. So 4 is equal to my slope. Okay, so I found my slope. So there's 4. I can choose either one of these points. This time I'm going to choose this one. So my y is negative 2. X is negative 4. And now I need to find b, which is y-intercept. So negative 2 is equal to negative 16 plus b. So 14 is b. So y is equal to 4x plus 14. Make sure to write your formulas down every time, substitute in everything carefully, and take the quiz on Edmodo.